All right, this video is about how to grow avocado trees in heavy clay soil here in Southern California. And this is, helping you with my 30 years of experience of growing avocado trees. This avocado tree here I planted about 30 years ago in heavy clay soil. And I'm just going to tell you all the things I've learned. I started out by killing avocado trees, one after another, and I learned things the hard way, and I learned how to just make them absolutely thrive in heavy clay soil. And I'll give you an example of that soil in this video. But yeah, I'll take you along and show you different avocado trees in my yard in various stages, from little babies I've just planted to all the way up to this 30-year-old avocado tree. This tree I originally planted, this was after, failing on many other avocado trees, but I planted it on a slight mound because I learned, that they get root rot really easy. So I built up a mound, and I'll show you underneath the tree exactly what it looks like. I'll take you over there. All right, here we are going underneath the tree. And one of the things I learned early on, somebody had told me that avocados absolutely just love their own leaves. And so I learned at some point to just leave all those leaves underneath the tree. And I used to keep like a little fence around the bottom of this to keep the leaves from blowing around the yard, but I don't even have that anymore. And then also mulch is extremely important. I usually have a lot of mulch under here, sometimes up to a foot or two of wood chips and mulch. But avocado trees, it's very important that they have this mulch, but it has feeder roots. You see those roots just right under the soil? These roots are just right underneath the leaves and the mulch, and they come up to the surface. They need to breathe, and this is where it gets its nutrients. It gets its nutrients from the broken down, just the broken down mulch and the broken down leaves. And I literally don't fertilize this tree at all. This is its fertilizer. You just keep mulch, keep leaves underneath there, and I water it just once a week, pretty much year round, except when it gets really hot in the summer. Sometimes I'll water it, 2 or 3 times. If it gets super hot, like 100 degrees, maybe 3 times in the summer. But, I never water it real deeply because, like I said, they can easily get root rot. All right, this is another avocado tree I planted in my yard just a few years ago. And uh, this year, actually, in the summer, I was unable to water for about, 4 months, maybe 3 plus or 4 months. I was unable to water back here. And this avocado had lost most of its leaves. And you can see that they've come back really nicely. And, the only reason this avocado survived is because of all the mulch that was underneath it. But you can see that it got burned really badly from the sun because the leaves were off of it. And, avocado trees really, want to stay moist. And this thing, I think, fared really well because of all the mulch that was underneath it. Now, this is another avocado tree in my backyard, and this was one that was hit, probably one of the hardest hit ones, um, from not being able to water for 4 months. And that's because it had the least amount of mulch underneath it. It had lost most of its leaves, and it was very unhealthy. And you can see the leaves are just starting to come back up here at the top. And plus, it didn't have any protection from the sun. It's just right out here in the open, no overstory or anything. It was just getting the full sun with very little mulch. And recently I have taken a lot of the leaves and stuff from the yard that I've been trimming and putting it underneath the tree, but there was very little mulch underneath this tree, and that's why it had suffered so much with that 4 months without water. All right, this is just a little baby avocado tree that I had planted, and it I can't even believe that it survived, but the reason that it did survive through that 4 months is if you look up, I have it planted right underneath this palm tree, and it has a fence right in back of it, and it's pretty much in shade all day long. So, I've left this palm tree here just as protection for this little baby avocado tree to keep it from the sun until it grows up and becomes bigger and stronger, more resilient tree. Now here's another avocado tree in my front yard. It's been here a couple of years, and this one really suffered through the lack of water for 4 months. It literally had lost almost all of its leaves, but the thing that kept it alive was I have these banana trees I planted here right next to it just to shade it from these are to the south, to shade it during the harsh sun during the day. And I also let this acerola cherry, I had let it grow over the top of it to shade it just during the hottest part of the summer. And I've cut it back now that we're into the fall to let it get full sun. But once I started watering this again, the leaves came back. You can see how healthy it is, but it has plenty of mulch underneath the bottom. And yeah, I just wanted to show you how, how well this thing has survived through the 4 months of having no water. All right, this is another avocado tree that I planted 30 years ago. And this is a dwarf avocado tree, which I wouldn't necessarily recommend planting a dwarf avocado tree. I think it was Paul Gauci that said, when you could plant a full-size tree and just prune it and keep it the size you want it, and you'll have a much stronger tree. But when you have a dwarf, you got that dwarf rootstock, and really the only thing you end up with is kind of a weak tree. This tree is 30 years old, and it should have handled that 4 months without water, the best, and it actually did the worst. I mean, it had a lot of dieback on it, and didn't have a lot of mulch at the time, and it's out in full sun, but it's just been kind of a weak tree. So I really wouldn't recommend getting a dwarf. I would, unless you just really don't want to prune it. I have pruned this thing very little, just basically pruned back the dieback. But I want to take you underneath and show you how much mulch I put under this tree. This is after, this is after not watering it for a month. But people say you can't put, wood chips and mulch right up against the trunk of a tree, which is nonsense. I just want to dig down and show you. They say it rots the trunk of the tree. I've been doing this for literally for years. I'm digging down here, digging down, digging down, digging down, digging down, digging down. I'm just digging, 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 still digging, still digging. That is literally, if you look, I'm up to my elbow in wood chips up against this trunk, and I've been doing this for years. And there's no rot at all on this trunk. There's no, the tree's doing great, but it's absolutely nonsense that you can't put mulch or wood chips up against a tree. I don't know who made that up, but it's not true. and they actually benefit. I've found the more mulch I put under a tree, the better it does. And this one, like I said, it didn't have a lot of mulch over that 4 months when it was doing so badly. So now that I've put this mulch down, this thing will just start taking off and growing really nicely. But I literally don't fertilize. Right, this is that same avocado from the other side, from the street side. The one thing I wanted to add is, especially in these clay soils, I have it here on a slope. I put it on the side of a slope because I had trees, avocado trees that died of root rot. I killed lots of avocado trees, learning how to take care of them properly. But the one in the back, I built it up on a mound, and this one, I put it on a slope. And I learned that just watering them once a week is all the water they really need, other than in the hottest part of the summer. You want to maybe water them a couple times a week, but you don't want to water them too much because they can get root rot in this heavy clay soil. So, if you're in an area where you have sandy soil, that may be different. I don't know. You probably have to water them more there. But in heavy clay soil of California, this is basically it. All right, this is my yard here. I wanted to just take you around and show you it's a food forest, growing in wood chips in terrible, absolutely terrible soil. And I just wanted to show you this because to encourage people, that say my soil, it's bad. Well, my front yard and backyard are just a thriving food forest, and I want to take you over across the street to my neighbor's house and show you the soil. I'm going to walk you over there right now. When I moved into this neighborhood, people told me the soil is terrible and, you can't grow anything over here. But this is just across the street at my neighbor's house. And it's heavy clay soil, and it's just rocks and heavy clay. And, he just told me the other day he doesn't really do anything to keep this from eroding because the clay is so heavy. This photo is showing a section of my neighbor's slope that is vertical. So in other words, if you were to dig a hole in my yard, this is what you would see as you go down. There's that many rocks, and those rocks are packed tightly into clay soil, and it does not drain well at all. And you just about need a jackhammer to get through it. Now, the good news is if you have soil like mine that's quote unquote bad soil, it really doesn't matter. No matter where you live on this planet, dirt is nothing more than ground up rocks. Like if you have clay soil, it's very finely ground up rocks. And if you have sand, it's coarsely ground up rocks. And you have everything in between that, but it's all the same thing. And the good news is your trees, that's exactly what they need to sustain themselves. It has all the minerals and everything it needs in there. It's just not bioavailable to most trees and most plants. I know you all have seen this before, and this used to just amaze me while we were traveling when I was a child, and I would see a tree growing out of a rock, and I just could not wrap my head around how a tree could grow out of a rock and actually be healthy. But the more you learn about how everything works, the less amazing this really is. I have really good news for people like myself that have quote unquote really bad soil, and that is that mushrooms will break down rocks and they will break down dirt and they will assimilate that and they'll put it into a form that is bioavailable to most trees and most plants, and they attach themselves. The fungus in the soil will attach itself to the root systems of these plants and trees, and they will feed those nutrients to the plants in a form that is bioavailable to them. Once these funguses connect themselves to the plants or the tree's root system, science has shown that it extends that root system by up to 100 times. And it goes out and collects minerals, and it collects nitrogen and water, even water, everything the tree needs, and brings it to that tree or that plant in a form that the tree can assimilate. The reason these funguses do this is because they have a symbiotic relationship with the plant. The fungus is unable to collect sugars through photosynthesis with the sun, which the plant or the tree is able to do. So the plant or the tree collects sugars and gives that to the fungus, and the fungus in turn gives the plant everything it needs to be healthy. All right, once you get into the subject of these mushrooms and this fungal network that's underground, it just absolutely blows your mind. You know, they use that network not only to get all of their nutrients from the soil and water, but they also use that network to communicate with each other, the trees and the plants. And yeah, I just want people to understand how critical the mushrooms are without getting too deep into it. And I will put a link for anybody interested of different scientists and experts talking about this, because it goes on and on. So I'm just going to urge you, the next time you go to plant a tree, rather than grabbing a book, that's made by some man and his worldly wisdom of how to plant a tree, exactly what you should do: dig a hole like 3 or 4 times the size of the container that the tree came in, and then go down to the store and buy a bunch of amendments that are made out of wood chips and bark, and mix that with the soil, which is the last thing you want to do. It literally robs nitrogen from the soil, and they cause your roots to rot underground. And it can take years for this stuff to break down. So instead of doing that, I suggest you take this living illustration given to us by God of this tree, showing you a cutaway of just how trees grow. The roots are down into the native soil, and there's a heavy mulch on the top. There's no bark, there's no wood or anything, debris inside of that soil. It's just native soil with a heavy mulch on top. And if you just basically follow God's example of how trees grow, you will never have to buy anything, add any amendments, or do anything other than just water the tree and make sure it has mulch on top of it, and that tree will grow better than anything. I could talk about this stuff all day long, but I'm sure I've probably already lost most of the audience by now. But if you are interested in this subject, I'll post a playlist that I have on my channel that gets into the wood chips and the fungus by different people, scientists and different people, to help you understand it more. But the scientists even admit that they have barely even scratched the surface. They're just starting to understand this stuff. So I guess the bottom line is, rather than trust man's ideas and man's wisdom on how to grow trees, you're best off just mimicking what God does in his creation, and your success will be so far beyond what you can get from man's wisdom. And I'm speaking from experience, because I used to read those books, and a lot of those books were written by the people, ironically, that make the poisons and make the fertilizers that they're trying to sell you for the trees. But the good news is you don't even need to understand this stuff. It's very simple. Just follow what I was talking about here. Try it with just 1 or 2 trees and see if I'm not right. If you like what I've been talking about and would like to hear more of it, like, subscribe to the channel. And If you don't, I wish you the best of luck.